Hey, everybody, good morning. Thanks for joining us on this session on going further with intelligence in Zoho CRM. We just have a few attendees coming in as we speak. So we'll give them a few more minutes and start in just 5 minutes. Thanks for your patience. So while we are waiting for others, why don't we run a quick poll to kind of, understand what we're going to talk about in today's webinar. And here we go. So we have a range of topics up for discussion today that includes email and call intelligence, conversational AI. So, we have most of you voting for these options. And the good news is we're going to talk about all of this in today's session. So stay tuned and be right there. And here is, on this note, here is something I'd like all of us to do, just a quick, small exercise. Why don't you all think of that one particular important use case or purpose for which you would like the assistance of AI? If there was one particular thing in your business that, oh, it would be great if I had the assistance of AI to do this particular action, what would that be? Why don't you think of it and quickly drop some of your suggestions on the Q&A tab. This would help us understand what it is exactly that you're looking for. And it will also help us keep this session lively and engaging. Please go ahead and keep the Q&A session busy. So please, I like this question. So please keep these coming. We have a panel of experts who, during the Q&A could elaborate on all of your, suggestions and questions. But more importantly, keep them coming right away. Thank you, Shana. That's pretty interesting. You'd like this help with reports. I'm pretty sure our team is noting this down. Thank you. Right, so I'm leaving a quick note for everybody joining in to understand this little exercise. And with no further delay, let's begin our session, right? So welcome again, once again to all of you. Welcome back to this webinar series called Go Further with Zoho CRM. My name is Vagdevi Ravishankar. I'm from the user education team in Zoho CRM. My team and I have tried and, briefed our customers over this 3-part webinar series on whatever is new and interesting in Zoho CRM that was introduced over the last year. So we had these 3 sessions, starting Monday of this week, where on the first session we discussed the latest enhancements over the past year with productivity. And then yesterday we talked about what is latest in customer engagement, stream of things. And today we have Nizamuddin Sohail, from the user education team, who's going to talk to you about what is latest in Zia, our artificial intelligence assistance tool, and what you can do with Zia. What are the latest capabilities that were recently added in Zia that you can put to use, specifically in the communication, area of Zoho CRM. So with no further delay, let's get started. Over to you, Sohail. Thank you.
Thanks, Vag. Guys,
Yes.
give me a quick thumbs up if you can see my screen.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Great. All right. Cool. Hello and welcome everyone to day 3 of our webinar series, Go Further with Zoho CRM. As Vag's already mentioned, we have had sessions on CRM management and lead engagement with Zoho CRM. In today's session, Go Further with Intelligence will focus on leveraging the power of AI in Zoho CRM. Just a reminder that we are recording this session, as you may have already been notified, and the recordings will be sent to you via an email. Panel of experts today, we have with us Joshua Simon, Karthik M, and Vignesh G with us. This is your chance to bombard them with all your doubts. You can post your questions on the go in the Q&A tab on left. And we'll also have a dedicated slot after my presentation for you to get more clarity from the expert itself. If you need further assistance, please mail us at crm-useredu@zohocrm.com. So Without further ado, let's get started. AI, or artificial intelligence, has become the buzzword in today's world. The extent it has transformed our lifestyle in the recent days is not unknown to anyone. Like Dr. Fei-Fei Li had said, it's likely to be the most transformative technology of our time, and its impact would be felt in every industry and corner of the world. According to some articles by Accenture Research, AI has the potential to double economic growth rates by 2035 by changing the nature of work and creating new relationships between people and machines. It also claims AI technologies could increase labor productivity by up to 40%, enabling people to make more efficient use of the time. And it's all pretty evident given the range of processes, fields, departments AI can assist you with today, from helping your kids do their homework or writing an email to your boss or to solving business cases. The sales, services, and marketing spectrum of the industries are no different. AI has its revolutionizing effects in customer relationship management as well. According to an article by IBM, AI-powered chatbots can handle up to 80% of routine customer service inquiries, thereby freeing up your sales reps to focus on higher value interactions. Another survey by Harvard Business Review found that companies that use AI in their sales process see a 50% increase in lead and appointments, a 60 to 70% reduction in call time, and a 40% increase in qualified leads. Gartner had already predicted that by 2023, AI-enabled CRM activities will result in a 15% increase in productivity for the salespeople and a 30% increase in the speed of lead identification and qualification. We at Zoho CRM have always been at par with the changing global dynamics with our very own AI sales assistant, Zia. Over the years, Zia has evolved to provide you with power-packed features for analytics and automations, as well as communication and interactions. Here we have some more number facts related to Zia, from increasing lead generation by 30% and sales conversion rates by 20%, to saving sales reps up to 10 hours weekly by automating lead scoring, assignment, or even predicting the chances of deal closure. With features ranging from data enrichment to prediction, recommendation, communication, etc., over 50,000 businesses globally have benefited from Zia in Zoho CRM. For today's session, though, we'll mainly focus in the enhancements in communication and conversational AI. Under communication, we will cover the enhancements, consecutive negative sentiment alerts, email emotion analysis, custom email intents, and the all-new Zia subject line suggestion. For Zia's conversational AI, Ask Zia, we'll look into the enhancements of having routine messages. Before we proceed further, here is the availability details of Zia's email intelligence features. These features are available only for organizations with 20 plus user licenses who are in enterprise edition or above of Zoho CRM. And these features are currently unavailable for the Japanese and the Chinese DCs. Additionally, for newly signed up accounts, all the features of Zia email intelligence will be available by default, while for existing users, few of the features may be available only when all the users of the org have switched to the new email configuration. And to compare all the features of Zoho CRM editions, you can always visit our feature availability page. Every email from your customer comes with a few attributes. Zia with its AI capabilities help you identify these attributes. The first one being the sentiment of an email, which is the underlying tone of the email. Emails with a happy tone will have a positive sentiment, while emails with an unhappy tone will have the negative sentiment. Apart from positive and negative, sentiments can also be neutral. Next comes the emotion of the email. For easier understanding, you can say emotion analysis describes the sentiment. In a way, you can say emotion analysis of the email is to complement the sentiment. And then we have the intent of the email. the underlying purpose behind writing the email. So let's say you received an email and Zia has categorized it as one with a negative sentiment. While knowing a customer is unhappy should be enough reasons for you to cater to them immediately, having a description of their emotion and knowing why they are unhappy would help you improvise your response. This is where the emotion analysis helps you by describing the customer's emotion. In this case, let's say frustration is the emotion. Again, the intent analysis helps you further by giving you the customer's purpose, which is a complaint in this case. Basically, your customer is unhappy with your service and are frustrated and writing to you to complain about it. Now, of course, an ideal scenario would be one where there is no such emails, but of course, you can't help that. Let's just leave all the negativity back and talk about an email that Zia has categorized as positive. The customer may be grateful for your service, so they have written an email with gratitude, and the email may be, and the intent may be inquiry. Okay, so now that we have a better clarity on sentiment, emotion, and intent, let us move on to our first enhancement, consecutive negative sentiment alerts for emails. No matter the line of business you are in, it's always important to understand and address customer concerns with immediate effects when they're upset to avoid any escalation and churns. To ensure such signs are never missed, we have introduced consecutive negative sentiment alerts for emails. Now you will never miss out on an email when the same customer repeatedly sends out emails that have a negative tone in it. Zia will give you real-time alerts on such emails for you to take immediate actions. Thus, you could resort to irritated customers early and thereby make a happy customer service, avoiding any churns in your business. Zoho CRM's email sentiment analysis feature can analyze up to 100 emails per minute. Now imagine going through 100 emails a day to analyze the customer's sentiment and then responding to them accordingly, or prioritizing whom to redress first. This is a classic example on how Zia could increase your productivity of your sales reps and thereby help you expand your business. Okay, moving on to the next topic in today's list. This is not an enhancement, but an all-new feature added to Zia's email intelligence. Every email reveals what the customer was thinking and feeling when they wrote it. Zia already had the capability of capturing the sentiment and intent behind each email to help you prioritize and organize your responses. Now we have gone one step further. Zia is now trained to categorize emails based on their emotional content, allowing you to understand the underlying emotional tone, as we saw a couple of slides earlier. And you can get all these details just at a glance on your emails related list. You can quickly identify these emotions and tailor your response accordingly based on the customer's emotion, thereby helping you have a better customer support and response. As discussed earlier, every email has an underlying intent or purpose. The ability to understand customers' intents in emails is critical to providing excellent customer service. Email intent analysis can help businesses provide faster and more accurate customer services, leading to higher customer satisfaction and retention. However, different businesses has different requirements in terms of the business process. And so the default intent analysis categories may not always align properly for every businesses out there. Moreover, the system defined intents may not be enough to satisfy their needs, and thus making it challenging to analyze customer intents accurately. This is why we have introduced custom email intents to allow businesses configure custom intent categories that are more suitable for their specific needs. And by the way, this feature is currently available for the US and EU DCs. Enabling custom email intent in your system is a three-step process. First, you pick a name for the intent, the name that you want your intent to be displayed as, your emails with that intent to be tagged as. And then you provide a description of the intent. And lastly, train Zia with data to identify those intents. To train Zia, you can either provide keyword or sample data. For the method of keywords, you can use up to 5 words or phrases, and Zia will accurately identify emails with these words and tag them with the intent you create. Otherwise, you could also use sample data by providing email contents directly or uploading files. A minimum of 25 email data is needed to proceed with this process. Once done, you can see the details of your intents and their status in the email intent tab itself. Moving on to our next enhancement, the all-new subject line suggestion. The subject of your email is the first thing your customer sees when they receive your email. A brief and catchy subject could help grab their immediate attention and thereby increase the open rates of your emails. To help you just with that, we have added subject line suggestions. Once you have entered your email content, Zia will provide you with suggestions for the subject. Select it and you are good to send your email out. Thus, with its intelligent suggestions, Zia will help you have catchy and engaging email subjects and thereby resulting in increased click-through rates. Routine messages for Ask Zia. Well, Zia can help your team stay on top of your sales process while they focus on your customers. With Ask Zia, you could already leverage its capabilities to get answers to important business questions, like how many deals were closed on a certain day, and so on. With the enhancement for having routine messages for Ask Zia, you can now schedule recurring questions to be automatically answered by Zia at a desired frequency. For example, you can create a routine question for Zia to answer during your daily morning meetings, let's say, such as how many deals did we close yesterday? So once you get started with your meeting, you can already have the data ready from Zia. This way, your team can quickly get the necessary data to make informed decisions without having to dig through reports or interrupt their workflow. Let Zia handle the data and keep your team informed. Okay, now it's time for the demo. So we are on the homepage of Zilka Tech Services, and I will quickly show you the features that we just talked about. So moving on to the contacts, I have my contact here, Carl Jamison. Onto the email related list. Okay, so I have the basic email intelligence enabled. I can see the email sentiment, the intent of the email, and that's all about it. I can see that there are certain emails with a negative sentiment, some with a positive sentiment, and so on. I can also see some dashes for intent. These are basically the system defined intents, which are others and complaints, which are matching with these emails. And the dashes are when the system defined intents are not matching the emails that I received. Ignore this because this is a sent email, but I can see I got back-to-back negative sentiments in 2 incoming emails from the same customer. Plus, these dashes that you see on certain emails, these are because of the neutral sentiment. That's all the data that I can capture from the basic email intelligence features. Now, that's obviously more than just reading through emails because we already have enough data to have a glance and understand the sentiment and the intent of the customer. But now let's move on to the enhancements that we talked about. The first one being consecutive negative sentiment. So under email sentiment, if I have it enabled, I will see the option to check consecutive negative sentiment. Once I enable it, I will have the option to select after how many consecutive emails with the negative sentiment from the same customer should I be notified. So let's say I can keep it 2, 3, 4, 5. For this purpose of this demo, I'll just keep it 1 so that it is easier to show you the with example. And I'll also enable email emotion analysis. That's about it. Going back to Carl Jamieson, I'll refresh the page. Okay, so just minutes back, I showed you how the emails were with negative sentiment and positive sentiment. That's all I could see. But look, now we have a new emoji over here, which is saying consecutive negative sentiments. So I can see back-to-back negative sentiment emojis, which is obviously referring to consecutive negative sentiment. This with this, I can directly know that this customer has been sending me emails with negative sentiment back to back, and that should be enough for me to take an immediate action for this and not just ignore and go on with the other emails and all. Additionally, I can see the emotion of the customer. As I mentioned, that emotion describes the sentiment. So I can previously, while I could just know that the customer is sending me a positive email or a email with a negative sentiment, now I can see why they were why the email was negative and why the customer was sending a positive sentiment. So I can see he was confused, and that's why the email that he sent was having a negative tone in it. Then I can see he was grateful with my service, and as you can see here, appreciation for your service. So the email was categorized as a positive one. So this is complementing the sentiment of my email and giving me more elaborate details on what the customer is trying to say. So if I see consecutive negative sentiment emoji as well as the customer being frustrated as their emotion, frustration as the emotion, then obviously this is the high time that I respond to their requirements to avoid any churn or missing them out. And that's the details that you can get at a glance from your email related list. And regarding consecutive negative sentiment alerts, you will also be notified in the signals. As you can see here, we have the consecutive negative sentiment emojis available. This email, upon clicking on this, you will see all of the emails that were in conversation with this particular contact or lead. And the last email that resulted in the consecutive negative sentiment pop-up or the notification, you can see that email at the top. That's about the signals part. While you can also find these notifications in the Zia notification panel. If I scroll down a little bit, because I received this negative sentiment email on 4th of May, so I have this notification over here. But if you receive that mail on the go, then obviously you will get a pop-up notification from Zia about the same. Upon clicking on this, you will see the exact email, the particular email that resulted in the trigger for negative sentiment. The second email with the negative sentiment, you can see it from here. You can click on view all conversation and consecutive emails, and you will be redirected to the email related list over here. You can also filter this by the CNS standing for consecutive negative sentiments, obviously. You can filter out and see only the emails that had the consecutive negative sentiment alerts. Okay, so moving back to my home page, I'll quickly show you about Ask Zia. About Ask Zia, you can always ask about different business cases and you will get responses from it. But for the routine messages, you can click here and you can add or edit queries. Now I had a query set up already. I'll delete it for the purpose of the demo. Let's just do that. I can add a new question, and let me just add the same question that I want to be answered. My open deals. Now the purpose of routine messages, if you remember, is to give you the results of these details or these questions that you ask at a specific time that you want and occur at a specific period, after a specific period. So let's say I want to know about my open deals every day at a specific time. I can do that. or I can also make it every week or every month. For every week, I can select the day on which it will be recurring, and for every month, I can select the day of the month that this question should be repeated. There can be different business questions. So based on that and based on your business requirements, you can set it up. In the preview button, of course, you can see the resulting deals that are currently open. And for the purpose of this demo, let me make it daily. And the time right now is 10:59. So I'll just make it 11. And I'll save it. Now that's done. So let's just wait for a few more seconds and we'll have Ask Zia's written messages pop up. So let's just wait.
So while we are waiting, we have a quick question. Is there a filter or custom view that allows me to see all emails with a negative sentiment from any contact? So could you just show that again so that it registers?
Sure, definitely. I'll come to that.
Yes.
So in the Zia notification panel, we already have a filter option for the different kinds of Zia notifications that you want to see. Once you have consecutive negative sentiment enabled, you will have this option in the filter itself. You can simply click on that and you will get only the consecutive negative sentiment notifications. So since this negative sentiment was from Carl Jamieson, I can see this details that there was a consecutive negative sentiment, and you can see the alert symbol obviously to catch your attention. And you can also see the lead or contact details over here. This was obviously another test detail, so such is the name, but this is the idea behind it. You can get it all from the Zia notification panel. Hope this clarifies the doubt. If you have anything else, feel free to let me know.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep, we'll come back to that again. And yes. You can already see the red notification in Ask Zia that is showing that we already have something over there, something popping there. And there you go. I have my open deals message, and it was answered at 11 p.m. So these are the open deals, and now I can get these details. I can click on them and I can see all the deal details, the basic details, or you can go to the more info and go to the deals page. You will have the basic activities, timelines, open tasks, or create new tasks, everything you can do just from this panel itself. That was about it. Now moving on to our next feature, email intent. So we have introduced this email intent tab. This is done recently because previously we provided only the system defined intents. Now we have system and custom intents both. For system intents, as I mentioned earlier, that there might be different requirements for different businesses, and all of them may not be using them, or they might not be helpful at all to them. So they can just deactivate this with our new option. You can simply deactivate it. Moving on to the custom intent tab, we have this custom intents, details of these custom intents that we have in our system. We can see the names over here. We can see the descriptions. Descriptions basically are for your sales reps to understand what does a particular intent mean. If email is tagged with sales intent, then that means the customer is asking about the feature, service, or features or pricing of that. That is to help them understand that. Then we see the method used in the email intent. Now the method, as I mentioned, it can be either with sample data or without sample data. Then we see the training status, like whether Zia is ready to classify emails based on this intent, the accuracy, and the email count that was provided. Now, in case of without sample data, if you remember, without sample data is when there is keywords. We are specifying specific keywords or phrases for the intent to work. In that case, obviously, Zia will be classifying or identifying emails with that exact keyword, and only then it will be tagging with the specific intent. So that's why there is no reason to have an accuracy, because it will obviously be 100%. but we have provided the accuracy percentage, which in this case is 100, but it will be varying. The more data you give, the more the accuracy will be increasing. You can see the accuracy details over here on this page. You can see the uploaded files and everything. Before that, let me just quickly show you how to create a new intent. So let's say I want to create an intent without sample data. I will give keywords. So let me just name it paid. So since this is a tech service company, maybe some customer is interested to upgrade from their previous subscription or something of that sort. So we can have that. And the description could be the customer wishes to upgrade their plan. Now let it be without sample data. So I will be adding keywords. So some keywords that could indicate that the customer is interested to upgrade. Update could be one. Add on, let's say. Then let's say premium. What else? We can have product improvement and renewal, let's say. Okay, so we have provided 5 words and phrases, and we can simply save it over here. Now Zia will spend a maximum of 24 hours to analyze this data. Now obviously Zia can be done before 24 hours and your intent could be good to go, but the maximum time is 24 hours, so you can just proceed with it. The intent is created. On this intent details page, you will see the details that you just provided. You can edit them, of course, anytime. Moving back, we can see the training status is in progress, and all the status of this is unavailable right now because this intent is currently not ready for Zia to be classifying. Let us create another intent, and we will be using support. We'll be using sample data for this, and let's call it support. Customer is seeking support for a product, let's say. Cool. So when we are going with sample data, the 2 options are enter email directly, or we can go with file upload. Now for both these cases, the minimum of 25 emails is necessary to be uploaded. Now that 25 can be a combination of both, or it can be either one of them, like 15 of these direct email, or 10 file upload, or it can be just 25 direct email entries. Now for the purpose of this demo, I have generated some sample emails. So I'll just copy a couple of them and we can paste it, save and new. Let me just copy this again. These are random sample emails which Zia will be training on to understand the service intent. Let's save it. That's it. I'll just provide 2. Now I'll also attach files. So I'll go to browser, and let's say I have this zip, support email zip. I can upload this file. It's loading. Once done, I'll attach it. I can also attach individual emails as well, .eml files or .html files. So I'll do that as well. I have some emails. Now ignore the email content at the heading because these are all sample emails for test purposes. I can just select a couple of them. Now you see the maximum allowed limit is reached over here. So you can find about the details of the limitations in our help documentations. So we cannot exceed the limit. So we'll close this, we'll delete this one sample and just go with this one sample, attach it. That's about it. We have given it a name, the intent. We have added a description. We have added a couple of email content directly, and we have gone with some file uploads. Now save it. And again, Zia will take 24 hours to process it. I'll just click proceed. That's about it. It's all processing, so you cannot see these details over here at this moment. Going back, I have some other email intents ready over here. So I'll just enable these because it won't be possible to show you the intents that I just created right now. Then I'll go back to my contact, Carl Jemison again. Moving to the email related list and under mark view. There you go. You see, while I started showing you the related list with the basic email intelligent features, there were so many dashes and not much data for you to grasp from just a glance. I enabled consecutive negative sentiments, I enabled emotion, and now I have enabled the custom intents. So while this was a dash, if you remember, indicating there is no intent from that email, now it is indicating that this was regarding a partnership, or this email was regarding, again regarding a partnership. So maybe the customer is looking for a partnership and that was their intent for writing the email, and they were frustrated or confused because they were not getting a proper service from us. So this is the amount of data that you can grab from just a glance on an email. That is huge with the features of consecutive negative sentiment, emotion, and email intent. That brings us to the other feature of email intelligence that we mentioned, the all new subject line suggestion. I'll enable subject line over here. Just need to refresh it again. Okay, so once I go to send email, oh, well, look, we have another pop-up over here saying that Carl Jemison mailed you with a frustration emotion, which is obviously one with a negative sentiment. So once I'm going to create a new email or send a new email to my customer, Zia is deliberately notifying me that, wait, the last email that you sent was the last email the customer sent you was having a negative sentiment and had the emotion frustration. So this is a quick heads up for me if I am unaware of if I am not well prepared about the previous emails that went on. I can just get those details at a glance before I send my next email. So that's a quick feature that is worth mentioning. I'll just close it for now. So to show you the email subject suggestion, I have another set of emails ready over here. So I'll copy this content. I'll paste it over here. And there you go. You see the email is, the subject is suggested over here. I can simply click the arrow and the subject will be selected in my email. And then we are good to send it. And it's sending. That's about it. The email is sent successfully. Now, Zia will also suggest you email subjects if you have added a subject yourself. So let me just copy this email content. Okay, so let's say I have added a subject already. Sorry for the incon. And here is the email. So once, although I had already the subject ready, but since I wrote my email content, Zia has its suggestions. The basic idea behind Zia's suggestions is obviously to provide you with catchy subjects, catchy and concise subjects, or something that will be helpful to provide your email content and not just a couple of words or phrases. So we can simply select it over here. Again, if we just forget to add any subject in your email, and if you want to send it, we already had this specify subject pop-up for that. Let's say I will write something. Sorry for the incon. And again, we have Zia's bulb pop-up again over here. That is, Zia is suggesting me that we have some suggestions over here. So please look into that. You can select these suggestions and proceed with it. That's about it. And the email is sent. So we learned about email sentiment analysis and consecutive negative sentiment enhancement for email sentiment analysis. We learned about email emotion analysis. Then we learned about email subject line suggestion. We learned about custom email intents as well. And we also saw how Ask Zia notification routine messages came. Okay, so that's not all, obviously. With Zia, the possibilities are always endless. With the extend, we have extended the intelligence features for your calls as well. Similar to emails, you can now get analysis for call sentiment, intent, emotion, and call summary. Like I can show you this on my setup at the moment. I have call intelligence enabled. And to have call intelligence work on your org, you need to have call transcription enabled. Call transcription is another feature. And you can, once you have call transcription enabled, your calls will be transcribed, and based on those transcriptions, Zia will give its intelligent analysis for the sentiment, intent, emotion, and summary of the call. You can have call transcription configured, and you can set the maximum minutes spent in a month, and you can choose the users whose calls are transcribed in your organization. You can choose the modules, like the user-based modules for whom the calls should be transcribed. And you can also choose the incoming outgoing calls that should be transcribed. And obviously, if you want intelligence to work, it should be the incoming calls as well. But you can also have you will also have the option to transcribe your outgoing calls. And the maximum duration, you can select the maximum duration for which calls should be transcribed. Then on this page, you can see the details of minutes spent per month and all these. And in call intelligence, once you have it enabled, Zia will be helping with all this data from the calls. Alongside communication and conversational AI front that we covered today, we have had a dozen of other features and enhancements released over the last 1 year, boosting Zia's power-packed abilities or adding new ones to the list. Some of the key features that I have to highlight for you would be churn prediction, an enhancement in Zia's prediction abilities, which uses machine learning algorithms to analyze customer data and predict which customers are most likely to leave the business. You can get all these details from here and see the percentage and act accordingly. Then under the recommendation realm, we have introduced Zia Similarity Recommender, an AI-powered feature in Zoho CRM that suggests relevant products or services to customers based on their purchase history, as well as similarities with other customers. We also introduced Zia Scores under recommendation, which is a predictive feature of Zoho CRM that assigns scores to leads and deals based on the likelihood to convert, allowing sales reps to prioritize their efforts. Okay, so let's sum it up for today with our key takeaways for the session. We learned about proactive customer relationship management with the help of features like consecutive negative sentiments, which will never let you down when it comes to engaging with your customer or responding to your customer immediately when there is an urgency. Then we learned about enhancing customer engagement with an emotional touch, obviously with our emotion analysis feature that we have included. We also learned about optimizing customer communication and enhancing services. We learned about boosting email engagement, streamlining business operations, and last but not the least, we just learned about enabling data-driven decisions and enhancing customer experience. To learn more about these features covered today and the endless list of Zia features, how-tos, configurations, scopes, and a lot more extensive material, you can visit our help documentation page. You can find it in zoho.com/crm. Going to resources, under that you will find documentation using Zoho CRM, and you can move on to Zia Artificial Intelligence for the Zia features, as well as other features also you can find in the same folder, same directory. You can also check this ebook that we have recently published on AI-driven business optimizations. You can also find this on the same website, going to resources and heading to ebooks. Now that concludes our session for today. From our learning so far, we can say artificial intelligence is more than just a technological advancement. It has the power to empower people to achieve new possibilities, to solve complex problems, create unprecedented opportunities, and transform the way we live and work. Thank you very much, everyone. You have been a lovely audience so far. And if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot them to our experts today. Thank you. Over to you, Vags.
Thank you, Sohail. That was a really fantastic session. I think, including me, we learned a lot about, Zia's capabilities, and your detailed demonstrations helped us understand that even more. Thank you for that. And now the session is open for Q&A. Anyone who has, yes, thank you. So I'll just run a quick poll. So please keep your feedback coming in. And anyone who has any questions with respect to the Zia functionalities discussed today, please, keep our experts busy. Keep your questions coming, and we are ready to answer them. So just for the benefit of everyone, we have I think we have somebody here who is very curious and interested in, understanding a little more about CRM. Please, if at all any of you is, evaluating CRM, or, you just subscribe to CRM, but you haven't been using it the way it should be used. And, this kind of webinar helps you get an idea of what is possible. Please do, try it out. And yes, we have multiple avenues by which you can familiarize yourself with the CRM system. We have ample resources, and if you need special guidance, we have training sessions where a live instructor will guide you through the setup over a period of 3 to 4 days, and you can learn about how to set up Zoho CRM for your account. And we also have onboarding options where for a small period, right after you have started, for a brief while, you can have one-on-one sessions with our agents, and that way you get more familiar with the CRM system. So these are some generic pointers for anyone wondering how to get started with the CRM system. That's one of the questions I see. Definitely give it a try and reach out to us. For this particular, since you came through this webinar, you can email us at crm-user@zohocorp.com, and we'll do our best to help you get started. Right. So that generic, tip aside, any questions per se on Zia capabilities? So Zia, just to add to what Sohail just mentioned. So today's webinar focused on the improvements in the more in the communication aspects of Zia. How email intelligence, call intelligence, how you can work with your emails and calls better, how this AI helps you prioritize and sort of sort your time on emails, understand which is priority, which customer needs to be attended first, even without spending a lot of time. So Zia is basically doing that scanning for you. So these sort of improvements is what we looked at today. But Zia's scope, or Zia has, we have artificial intelligence in many more aspects of managing your CRM, including automation, data analytics, data management, and so on. We sure to send those kind of resources your way at the end of this series. This is just for your information. So if at all you have any questions about how Zia works for a particular need, whether Zia helps in one particular case, please feel free to ask them right away. I have a quick question about the training data set that Sohail had mentioned in this presentation, keywords and tracking emails. Can one of our experts please explain how that works? As in, what does our customer have to do in order to train Zia, become more accurate? And how do they start going about this, procuring this training data set?
Sure. Actually, To train an intent, you can add multiple number of emails to segment each emails accordingly. Like for each category, you need a minimum of 25 emails for creating the custom intent. So custom intent is a thing which categorize email. For that, to train Zia, we need a minimum of 25 emails. It can be a maximum of 100 emails too. So based on that, the emails which customers provide, Zia will analyze that this particular emails is based on a particular category. So based on each category, it segments the emails. So you will be seeing labels in other part of emails, something like promotion, social. This is similar to that. For each and every type of industry, the labels and the categories will be different. So in order to train, we are using custom intent.
Right. So when you say 25 emails, so these could be emails that I just draft for my own, training Zia purpose, or I could just export some emails that I got from some customers and then, put them in here. What is the recommendation?
You can export any emails from your previous emails which has sent by your customers, or else you can create a mail and also you can upload it. So both the way you can do any. We have given all options like uploading, entering, and you can also download from the previous other email clients too, and you can upload it here. So we have given enough number of options.
Right,
Okay.
that would be very helpful depending on what a user has at their disposal, whether they have existing emails or they want to train from scratch and create their own emails. Whatever the case it is, training data set can be uploaded in either way depending on customer's convenience. That's great.
Exactly.
That's good to know. Thank you. So I have another quick question. So now we have custom intent. Do we intend to have custom emotion? Now emotion, I think, is predefined. Later,
Exactly.
would customers be able to define their own emotion?
Yeah, good question, Vox. Actually, based upon the requirement, we'll be bringing up custom intent and further things we can bring it up. So this was the requirement which we got earlier. So we brought up custom intent. Maybe in future we'll be bringing up custom emotions too.
All right. So just bottom line is, depending on need, we are ready to bring in custom emotion as well.
Exactly.
Thanks. That will be useful as well. And it's also good to know that all of these valuable insights are now going to be available for calls as well. So you can understand emotions during calls. So that covers pretty much two main modes of communication, which is emails and calls. So I would request everybody here, if you haven't tried yet, please do try your sentiment, intent, and emotion analysis for Zia. Try it out with your emails and calls, and do keep your feedback coming to us. Thanks for the answers, Joshua. So we will keep this session open for 5 more minutes. Anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to keep sending them our way. So we have a lot of, we have a lot of questions coming in. And, when we began the session, we had a quick exercise on, what it is that people are looking for from Zia. So we'll just pick some of those questions and, for the benefit of the audience, answer them. So this question is something I'm going to put to the panel of experts. So there is someone who has asked about working mainly with reports. The updates made to creating reports has proven to be a little difficult to create the reports and the content that I need in those reports. So so there are, I see two things in this question. One is the complexity of reports itself, which we could perhaps address maybe separately and send some resources. But what in the context of AI, ZIA reports and analytics, what is it? What would be the top, ZIA insights, that our customers should, note and use? Can one of our panel answer, please?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. Myself, Karthik, and as Shana has asked about the report suggestions by AI, in this regard, currently we do have an enhancement upon component suggestion in our dashboard and analytics. Mainly, if there is an anomaly, or else for a cohort, or else during the quadrant suggestions based upon the reports created by the users and their user pattern across the organization, ZIA would sense and identify a pattern out of it, and then it will suggest a component based upon it. But if you really come into the report, it's from the scratch. Now, why ZIA doesn't really support for reports means it really doesn't know where to start, which will be the right thing to suggest as a report for the current needs and benefits for the managers who are dealing inside their organization. Yes, it's a valid requirement, and we are going to consider this in our future announcements. How it will be shaped, it's like we will be asking some specific set of queries upon which what the report is going to solve what purpose. Like if AI can sense those criteria, then it will be easy to create some reports based upon the needs and preferences, so that it might be beneficial for the users. It would be more like an interactive one. So that is how it will be evolving as a feature in our recent enhancements. And thank you for that.
Thank you, Karthik. It's great to hear that, we're going to address this. So I hope that was helpful, Shana. And, let's wait for that. And we have just another question on, where I think this could be a slight detail that our attendees may have missed. So just to reiterate, Sohail, if you could share the slide on on the availability details, just so that,
Sure,
investors-
definitely.
So where did you go under settings to enable this was the question. So it's simply under ZIA communication, but for this to show up, you must have 20 or more user licenses in your enterprise or above edition. So
Just to reiterate that.
refresh, yes. If you
Yeah.
could go to that slide and stay on there for a minute.
There you go. So
Yeah. So these are some because in order for the AI engine to have that required data and give you the right insights, there is some minimum requirements needed, and that is what you see on the screen. So please make a note of this. Anyway, a copy of this deck would be sent to you. So that is about the availability details. Thanks, Sohail, for sharing that again.
definitely.
Yeah. So we saw about how the consecutive negative sentiments can be filtered and seen in the ZIA notifications panel. And we had a question about whether the session recordings will be sent, whatever they missed the previous couple of sessions. Don't worry. Yes. Since you signed up for this session, you would automatically get the recording of this and the previous sessions as well. So that is sorted. So please do keep your questions coming in. We have about 5 minutes tops. We'd be happy to answer more questions. Thanks for all the applause emojis and encouragement. Really motivates us. Thank you. If at all there are any further questions, we'll keep the session open for 5 more minutes. So just to be clear, we wanted to bring up the best time to contact that is already an existing functionality in ZIA. So we had a question on whether that will be available, that will help in mass email But unfortunately, we don't have it. But if you could add a little more insight, Joshua, about AI for mass email, perhaps that will help our attendees.
Sure. Currently, we don't have any support for mass email from the AI side, but we are building up with a feature called Smart Prompt, where user can build email templates with the help of it, which will be rolled out soon. So with that feature for mass emails, you can generate email templates.
Fantastic. Great news. Thank you. So it's good to, sort of realize that, yes, we are working towards whatever is expected from the, AI suite. So that's great. That's aligning with our customers' needs and requirements. Thanks for that, Joshua.
Yeah.
So please do give these features a try. You can always get back to us with your feedback once you try them if you haven't tried them already. And, do keep your questions or suggestions coming our way. You can use our forums to, post your discussions. And, all of that will definitely add value to what we are already doing. So thank you. All right, then. Thank you, everybody, for taking your time to join this session, learning from us, and keeping your suggestions coming in. Please do sign up for these webinars as and when we conduct them, and keep in touch with whatever is new in Zoho CRM. And look out for that email, follow-up email. We'll, just to reiterate, we'll send a copy of this session along with other session recordings that were done in this series and a bunch of resources. So, do watch out for that email and try out these features. So thank you. Thanks for being a lovely audience. Thank you to panel of experts, and thanks, Sohail, for that great presentation. Have a nice day, everybody. See you soon on another webinar session. Thank you.